Hi, Joe Goes to the Movies. Tonight I'll be looking at the Brampton Indie Arts Festival. I'll introduce you to the promoters and the producers. We'll find out just how hard it is to be an independent filmmaker here in Canada, aka Hollywood North. Richard Marcella is the festival director for the Brampton Indie Arts Festival, and Jon Kelly is a filmmaker, and Brian Ramdor is a musician. So welcome to Joe at Night, chaps.
How you doing?
So Richard, let's come to you first, seeing as you're the director. I guess you're the big cheese. What is this arts festival all about? Or what was it about? Because I guess it's already passed.
Yeah, it's an annual event to promote the arts in Brampton and the GTA, I guess. And what we did was we tried to make it different. And we got people like the Nihilist Spasm Band, Nash the Slash, and we tried for Mendelsohn Joe, but it didn't work out. So artists from, you know, I guess all over Canada really, to come to Brampton and make it something a little bit different. And local artists, like all of us, really.
So it
Jon
wasn't
Kelly.
just a film festival, this was all of the arts
No,
that
it was
were
all
included.
encompassing, yeah. And it was a success. It was a week long. We had everything from Indian Arts Night to, I can't even remember, it was years ago for me. But yeah, film, we had a feature film night where we showed some of Jon's work, and Brian did music as on our hardcore night, and I did music as well. I did a musical set as well, so it was fun. We had
So
a good
how
time.
hard is it to promote Brampton as part, I mean, it is so close to, I mean, we get into this whole thing about, you know, the GTA West and all of the communities that are so close to Mississauga, or Mississauga and Toronto. How do you sort of, you know, break that line and get people to come out?
Being a sleazy marketing guy, I guess what I do is I make fun of poor old Brampton. And that's how we got some media, like from Chart Magazine and other Toronto people, because Toronto people are uptight, right?
Yeah, they
and
don't want to come out west. They think it's like a half-day excursion or something.
Exactly. But we did actually, we got, like, some people came down from Broken Pencil Magazine, and they enjoyed Brampton. It wasn't too bad on their skin, so.
So what about the, you know, the bigger magazines like Now and I?
Now and I just, no.
No.
Yeah.
Are you listening to that, like, Now and I? Like, why can't you come out to Brampton? Like, why? Is it too parochial for them? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I think it's because we don't wear black, thick black glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's easy
my
to cure
theory.
then.
Yeah.
Okay, John, just stick your, you know, black frame
John's aren't
glasses
thick enough.
on.
I
No,
looked
they're
at him
not
before I made the comment.
Okay, so you're the
Sunglasses.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
there.
Hi and Now. There we go. We've got it made. So, John, you're the independent filmmaker, and what does
That's
it
right.
take to be a filmmaker here in Canada, or specifically even in Brampton?
Well, pretty much you've got to really gather all the resources that you possibly can, because
That means money.
exactly. Yeah, there is. You got to find out how to budget properly, and but the thing is, with the digital video coming in now, it is making it a lot easier to make films on a very shoestring budget. So with the advent of that technology, at least there's more opportunity for filmmakers and people like myself to get out there and create what they want to do.
So what made you decide that, you know, you wanted to be a filmmaker? Was it just watching too much telly as a kid? Or?
Probably that. That's pretty much what it is, yeah. I wanted to be a part of all what's behind the camera and what's in front of the camera, and just be able to control all that. So yeah, it's pretty much been the lifelong dream as far back as I can even remember. I don't know where it would have stemmed from, but yep.
So what's it like to actually do it then? I mean, you've actually made some films, so tell us about
Oh, yeah,
some of the films that you've made.
Well, it's a great thrill, because you get to. My favorite part is actually being in the editing room, is where I actually want to end up as an editor, and then eventually as a director again. But directing my own stuff and bringing it into the what I'm using is a Final Cut Pro right now, which is a big software program from Macintosh that a lot of people are using right now for digital video editing. So being in that environment and just watching what I've already done and watching how everything's put together and just creating the story is like the greatest part about filmmaking.
Okay. Well, Brian, let's bring you in here because you're the musician. Do you write just music scores for a film, or do you just write music, period?
I just write music.
Yeah? What kind?
Well, I have very little musical talent, so I try to steal from other songs. And rework them so no one can recognize them.
So why wouldn't you
there you
just create your own from scratch?
I tried before, and I'm just terrible at like
Yeah.
keeping a beat.
It's all been done before. Anyway.
Yeah, that's, and also I prefer not composing, but cutting and pasting music together.
So you don't do this scratch stuff, do you, with the...
Sort of, yeah.
A little bit? A
Yeah.
little bit of that? Or is it
Yeah.
real music, or what, old farts like me would call real music?
No, not at all.
So
More like
how,
Total opposite of music.
so how do you get a gig then? How would somebody say, okay, Brian, I want you to compose some music for me. I want you to be the musician for this particular festival or this particular gig. Like, how does that work?
Just call me up and
But how do they
I'll go
know who
anywhere.
you are? How do they find you? How
they
does
don't.
it work?
That's the problem.
They haven't yet.
So
He's a
you
director.
haven't done too good a job of marketing yourself yet?
No,
then?
no, I'm terrible.
All right, so how are you going to fix that? Or do you want to fix it, or do you want to
I have
stay
some
in
motivational
obscurity?
tapes at home that I'm trying to listen to. Anthony Robbins. And
Okay.
so-
All right, we'll come back to that then. So, Richard,
Well, actually, getting back to that, what we did to promote the arts in Brampton was we put ads out in Speak of the Devil Now magazine. We can slander Now magazine, here, right?
well, you can, I
Okay,
can't. I wouldn't dream of
in
slandering anyone.
yeah, Speak
but
of the
yeah.
Devil Now magazine, we put like a recruitment ad out and got several submissions.
So, a call to artists, basically.
Film, music, and everything from around the area, and that's how people like Brian. We also ran ads in the Guardian and stuff like that. So that's how a lot of the artistic community got wind of what we were doing, and from there, that's how it carried on.
That's
so.
what builds it. How do you
Yeah.
get that sort of? How do you build the hype, though? I mean, because we hear about the Sundance Film Festival, and there's so much hype about that. There's the Toronto Film Festival. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So how do you compete with the big guys?
Well, they're just too artsy. Like, I think the way to compete with them is to just be cheesy. I think you called me the big cheese earlier, and that's what it's all about, is
Yeah.
cheese, really. I think we have to promote cheese in Brampton, right? It's what you can't get. Actually, we should market it as is what you can't get in Toronto. Like we had people like the Nihilist Spasm Band, that was a big deal. I mean, they're like a legendary noise band from London who came up and.
And is
and
that a
played
category, noise?
Yeah, they're
Yeah?
huge in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is
That's what
not.
Brian does, actually, is more like he disturbed the crowd to it in a beautiful
all
way.
these 15-year-old kids.
And so what we did was we tried to line it up where we had like a hardcore night where a bunch of high school kids came out and we exposed them to Brian's disturbing noise and tried to show them something a little bit different. And that's what we're
How did that go
continuously
over?
trying to do. I think they enjoyed it, right?
I
You'd
was
say?
censored. They didn't even plug my mic in.
Yeah,
Only the first row heard me.
yeah. I think they enjoyed it. It was good. It was a good time.
So
Everyone had a
how
good
do you
time.
tell if they enjoyed it? By them not walking out? Is that the yardstick by which you
Well,
tell?
well, we sort of put
All the
it-
seats were still intact.
Exactly. Yeah.
They didn't
There weren't any
represent
riots.
There was no
but-
riots. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to throw this out to the people in Brampton, especially because we have a lot of viewers out in Brampton. So I'm going to ask all the people out there in Brampton: do you want cheese in Brampton? Because that is what Richard Marcella is saying that they put together in this festival. So if you don't think it was cheese, then give us a call and tell us what you want to see in Brampton. Certainly in terms of films and how you want to see arts and entertainment represented in your community. Because we have a huge arts community in, just south of Brampton in Mississauga. There's a lot of filmmakers actually in Mississauga too. So do you think that you can have a big collaboration with all of the people west of the city? Is that something that you want
That's
to
the
do?
idea, and I'm working hard with the city to achieve that. Like we've actually, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but we've evolved what is going to be over the next year a cult series. So it's something for sort of the under 40 market, the weirdos, and what I'd like to do is sort of give kids and younger people something to do in Brampton. That's the whole reason for doing this in the first place, is to just give them something healthy to do as opposed to
Hanging
falling
out
to
or-
inebriation, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
well, that sounds like
Without
a very-
sounding like a Christian.
Yeah.